Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to our live feed update for September 6th. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and with me today is AJ. How you doing, AJ?
I'm doing all right. Glad to be here. I'm upset y'all got me following Chappelle. Like, okay, y'all gonna do that to me? That's cool, but I'm gonna hold it down.
Yes, well, things happen. Somebody's got to follow Chappelle.
Listen, baby, I'm gonna try my hardest, but I can't follow that legend.
I mean, I'd watch out for any texts from Jacob. Just be concerned.
Honestly, I ain't worried. I ain't worried. No, I'm good. Baby, I'll buck. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid.
Oh boy, oh boy. If you didn't catch my stream with Jacob yesterday, head over to twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong. We had a grand old time talking about drama with Chappelle and all sorts of other things. But we are here today to update you on everything that happened yesterday on the Big Brother 24 live feeds. It was day 62 in the house, and they have not stopped gaming.
No, like truly, and I'm over here watching. I'm like, most of this gaming is unnecessary. Like, this is like a lot of like going around in circles, saying the same things. I'm like, okay, I get it. Yes, Brittany's doing a lot. Fair.
Yeah, so there are times in the Big Brother game where we start to get toward the end of the game and it all just comes down to competitions and there's not really much game to talk. And then there are times in the Big Brother house where the game has been blown up so many times that nobody trusts anybody anymore. And it's all just a mishmash, mushiness blob of everybody lying to everybody, and none of it makes sense. And we're basically there at this point, but we'll do our best to try to make sense of it all.
No, like genuinely, like every conversation with every group of people is like a different conversation. Like, and it's just if you add or take one person away. Like, if Michael's in this conversation, we're doing this, but take Michael away with the same group of people, it's now this. And then replace Michael with Brittany, now it's something different. And replace Taylor with Alyssa, now it's something different. I'm like, oh my God, calm down.
Yeah, so you might be confused if you're trying to read updates, you're trying to like stay on top of it. If you're not like only relying on this podcast, you might be like, what is happening in this house? Who is where and what is going on? And that's justifiable because basically what's happened is that, again, the game has been blown up so many times at this point that nobody really trusts anybody else fully, or at least there are very few people who fully trust another person fully. Usually how you can tell the truth of a situation is that you wait for them to have a conversation with the person they trust the most in the house, or they have a camera talk, right? The problem is that everybody's playing a solo game at this point, except for, I would say, Turner and Monty. They trust each other. You can believe what they say to each other to an extent. Like, maybe they wouldn't take each other to final two, but they're going to be working with each other for as long as possible. Brittany trusts Michael 100%. Anything she says to Michael, you can take as solid. But at this point, even Michael talking to Brittany is not necessarily 100% because he has been withholding a lot of information from her lately. And I think perhaps is a bit genuinely annoyed with how messy she's been, despite the fact that that messiness has been an aid of him and has been vastly great for his game.
Like, when I tell you someone just sat on her ass and let someone else like do all this work to benefit him, like this Monty Turner trying to keep him around, like that wouldn't happen without Brittany. But yet you want to complain about Brittany, like want to talk 5 minutes with you because Taylor wanted to just butt in for what? Like, Michael, be grateful.
Yeah. I would say Alyssa is probably most in on this women's alliance thing. I would say that's probably where she stands. And then Taylor, genuinely playing for herself, I think is willing to lie to anybody at this point. Most loyal to Brittany, but even that is going to be wavering over the course of the day in terms of like what she's telling Brittany. So let's try and walk through the day, and we'll try and sort of like get a sense of where everyone stands by the end of the day today. But of course, Michael's the HOH. He won the veto as well. Terrence and Alyssa on the block. Michael intends not to use the veto very shortly in this day. The veto will not be used, so that is not a concern. But we are going to start the day with Monty and Turner, who if you recall from the day before, had Turner had come up with the idea after talking to Brittany that if you can't beat him, join him. Let's team up with Michael to work against a theoretical women's alliance, which Turner was warned could start and then did start. And so they're going to, Monty and Turner are going to talk in the morning about the deal that they had discussed the night before. They still feel good about it. They still feel good about not targeting Michael if they have the chance.
Like, I've never felt so much stupidity happening. Like, listen, Michael is here for you. Michael is the person who is breaking records, winning all these competitions. Like, I understand, like, you can't beat him, join him. Like, but why are you going to join the one person that's winning competitions? So what if you take him out? Like, the other people are not winning. You don't have nothing to worry about.
The thing about if you can't beat him, join him is that if then you beat him, you don't have to join him anymore.
Like, you're putting yourself in a bad position. Like, keeping Michael, like, one time, like, Taran, let me tell you something. The one time that man is available to be evicted and they don't evict them, I'm gonna be so over it. If they, like, legit evict Alyssa next week and Michael's on the block or is available, honestly, give this man the money. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm upset.
Oh boy. Oh yeah. So they're still feeling good about that. They want to test the waters to see if they can get Alyssa out this week because they're concerned about this women's alliance. And so, because look, for as much as, Michael or whoever might be concerned that Terrence is just going to big D his way to the final two, both Alyssa and Terrence are big Ds. They're both big Ds. So either one of them can go.
No, like truly, like listening to them, like weigh the pros and cons of which is better to take out between Terrence and Alyssa. I'm like, neither of them should be going at this point in time. Like, the thing about Big D is you want Big D, you want to bring Big D to the end. Like, why are you trying to take that out?
They said as long as we can make it so that we prevent two of us, as in the three guys, from being on the block next week, we will control the votes. If just one of the guys is on the block, then the other two guys can be the two votes to save the third guy. So that's the primary goal here. And so after the veto isn't used, Turner and Monty are going to go up and talk to Michael. Turner gives them both the pitch, and they agree. They solidify it. We're going to work together. We can win every HOH moving forward. It's going to be a lock, and it's going to be great.
Like, honestly, the hubris of these people thinking they will just win every competition. But I'm like, wait, it's Michael and Turner. They probably will win every competition, which is why, Michael, you need to take Turner out. But then again, like, who could have foresaw the stupidity of Turner and Mike and Monty being like, you know what? Michael's good for us. We want to bring Michael closer to the end game, where this man can win these competitions, where he studies for these mental competitions, has been good with like the luck base and the endurance. And honestly, I saw him play that ball game with Monty last night in Turner. I watched it happen. I was like, oh, Monty, you ain't got the balls, do you?
Yeah. Okay, we can briefly mention this. They gave I don't even know what it's called. It's like a two balls on like a string, and they like
toss them,
throw it, and they try to hook it on a thing. And all for weeks, Monty's been like, put a ball in my hand. Just put a ball in my hand and I'll crush Michael with it. And of course, Michael beats him.
Like, Michael's so good. Michael is just good at everything. Monty, you need to sit down.
So
I love it so much.
Yeah. Monty brings up the possibility to Michael and Turner that what if we keep Terrence? Or at the very least, we could throw that option out there to the women to see if they'll be like, no, we need to keep Alyssa to confirm that they're working together. Michael pushes back a little bit. He says he's not really concerned about Alyssa and the women's thing because obviously, clearly, Brittany's not in it. She's not on board because she ratted it out to Turner. So I think that we should still take out Terrence, essentially. And they're like, yeah, we can still be on board with that, but let's still test the waters, see how the women respond. But point is, we're locked in, hands in. What's our name? What about the founding fathers? Says Turner. They laugh. They don't need a name. They said they don't need a name.
Like, you know what? Nothing says legitimate like a lack of a name. Like, honestly, full-heartedly. Like you always entertain just a name because that's when it's like something like, okay, this person's really invested, and then like it could be spilled and released in information. But I think that's part of the part of trust. Like the fact that there's information that could be leaked, it's like I'm trusting you that much. Also, this is dumb. This is dumb. I'm gonna say this one more time. Like, why would Michael be like, no, wait, you telling me my two biggest competitors wants to work with me and take me further? Of course, yes. And I don't have to do nothing. I'm vulnerable next week. Wait, pause. Forget next week. You're vulnerable during the double? And y'all just gonna let me pass? Okay, cute.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Monty's later going to refer to this as a gentleman's agreement. And I think that's a very apt way of describing it, because that was also the descriptor of Kyland giving Xavier the win.
Like, honestly, I'm just so happy for these coordinations. I can't wait to coordinate for 25.
So Turner's gonna leave. Monty just checks in with Michael, like, you feel good about this? Michael says yes. Monty says, I believe Turner. I don't think that he would lie about this. I think this is a good idea. They talk about how Brittany's been losing it lately, and they're locked in. So everything's all good here.
Listen, for Michael, everything is all good. For Monty, he's moving. He's continuing this game.
I think the big question here is, does the double eviction help Michael or hurt Michael, in the sense that, like, if Monty or Turner win, they probably won't have enough time to like go back on their deal.
Mm-hmm.
Or they could be like, wait a minute, it's a double eviction. I can get rid of him just real quick. I feel like it could help, it could hurt. I still feel like, obviously they're making this deal, but you have to assume that they'll rethink it at some point if they have the ability.
Like, here's the thing, right? My gut was like, no, the double eviction helps them because he already they're making a deal and stuff like that. And if Michael had more time, or Monty and Turner had more time to think about it, they'd be like, wait, we're being stupid for keeping Michael in this house.
Yeah.
But this week they had time to think about it. And and they actually said, you know what? Let's renege on our initial thoughts of why Michael's a dangerous player and why Michael will be everyone in this game. Let's keep that man around. They said that's good for us, because you know what, Taran, you know what's the scariest thing in this game? Alyssa.
Yep.
She terrifies this, especially Monty. Like, Monty's like, Alyssa, she's going to get that sympathy. She's going to win. She's going to get to the end and win.
It's Alyssa. She's dead weight and useless, but also super threatening.
Make it make sense.
Monty's going to talk to Taylor. And he's going to, do step one of his plan to test out what she's feeling about the vote, right? He says, I'm kind of on the fence about Terrence and Alyssa. Taylor says, well, I'm indifferent. And he gives like this big pitch about why Alyssa should go and why Terrence should stay, essentially. And talking about like, Alyssa, she's still lying to me about whether she was coming for me. He asks Taylor, have you talked to Alyssa lately? And she comes right out and says, oh yeah, well, Alyssa, she's pitching like the women should move forward kind of thing, but that's just Alyssa. He said, oh, really? Wow. This is huge. This is huge for Monty that Taylor came out and admitted it without him having to like dig. And Monty had been talking about targeting Taylor in the double, well, he doesn't know it's a double eviction, but in the double eviction. This is huge for Monty. We'll as the night progresses, we'll talk more about where the targets are. But this is a huge moment for Taylor. She's still in some danger. There are still Turner's still looking at her.
Yes.
But this may have been enough to save her from Monty's target.
At least for recently, but we also seen in the past where, like, Taylor does something, Monty's grateful, and then like, you know what, never mind, Taylor, you still ain't it. There's still plenty of time for her to
like not be mad at Alyssa or something like.
Correct. Like, honestly, with that man, you are stepping on eggshells, and like, it's like when you make a crack and you go, oh, like that's what it's.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
Yes, they discuss. Okay, so again, Terrence versus Alyssa. It's pretty clear in this conversation that Monty is trying to push Terrence staying, and Taylor is trying to push Alyssa staying, but they're both trying to be a little coy about it. He eventually asks okay, listen, how do you
Go.
feel about Brittany? She's like, I feel great about Brittany. He's like, well, okay, I'm going to take a leap of faith with you here because you told me some information about Alyssa that I didn't even ask you about. I'm going to tell you this. Turner told me last night that Brittany proposed a final 2 to him the night before. And Taylor's like, wow. Well, that doesn't surprise me. I see what Brittany's up to. She's a sketchy one.
She can read Brittany.
Yeah, I can read her. I see it's all over her face when she's lying like that. And they start to talk more about Brittany, but Brittany ends up joining them. And it's pretty funny because she joins them and starts talking about how Turner needs to go. And it's just like, that's confusing. So Taylor's going to talk to Brittany afterward. And she's like, have you talked to Turner? And Brittany says, no, only a little bit, like nothing of substance. You know, if the only thing I'm concerned about Turner being locked in with Monty. I think that Turner and Monty are working together. This is what Brittany has been trying to beat the drum on for a while. Nobody will listen to her. I talked in this beginning of the this update. Monty and Turner are the only 2 people who are like actually loyal to each other right now. Brittany's been telling the world about it, and they all just go, "That's nice, Brittany. That's nice. Good job."
I've said it before in the previous thing. I like Brittany's capable. Brittany is like a person that can like be obvious, but I just think the way that she how she came off in the beginning of the game like really hurt her, how people view her and opinionates her. And when she like I feel like accepted the fact that like she might be a losing finalist at this point, like 2 months ago, I was like, that like really much hurt the way that she conversates with other people and how people will receive the information. Because once you accept defeat, you can read that on your face and your words and stuff. But also back to the thing, like it also is like crazy because like why would Brittany be doing the mess that she's doing, like making a final 2 with Turner, and then like the very next day be like, you know what, we need Turner out of here. Like like the thing just makes no sense. So it's like hard for especially Taylor to figure out what's truth, what's lies.
Yeah. So Taylor's gonna talk to the cameras and just be like, oh my God. Like you can tell that she's been thinking since Monty told her that Brittany's kind of going wild. And so Taylor says to the cameras, is there a world where I can take Terrence and Brittany to the end of the game?
Shook.
Like 2 goats essentially, because she's considering the possibility like Monty really seems to want to keep Terrence, so that would mean Alyssa leaves this week, Michael leaves next week, she's still on that, Turner the week after, and then Monty.
I'm over here like, you know what, Taylor, I ain't mad at it, but I don't like this for you. Like I ain't rooting for you. I'm rooting for you as a player. And I like the idea of going to the end with like 2 people that you could easily beat and stuff like that. Why are you keeping turning around so long? Like I understand Michael's won everything. For you, Taylor, Turner needs to be like number 1 target. No one person that gotta go.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Turner or like I thought I was definitely of the opinion that that Taylor could not be the HOH that takes out Michael at Final 7 this week. I think it's still very risky. If she wins the double eviction HOH and takes out Michael, that leaves her very vulnerable at 5. I don't love it, but at the same time, like it's time. Like it's time for everybody to take the shot at Michael at the final 6 in the double eviction. There's no more, in my opinion, space to not do that. The risk there again for Taylor is, yes, you're leaving Turner in the game, especially with Monty still. Everybody should be super wary of the 2 of them. Ideally, you get the 2 of them to take the shot at Michael. The problem with that is that Brittany has put in so much work to make it not happen that it's no longer happening, and now everyone's screwed.
Like truly, like the man who should like be on death row, like is over here like sitting cozy because a woman who has a mission, and that is to get to the end with Michael and make sure that man wins and she gets a chance at 75K.
Yeah. So a little bit later, Taylor talks to Brittany again, and she's like, look, my entire game is with you, okay? I know other conversations are probably happening, but I am so all in on me and you. Essentially, please don't screw me. And Brittany's like, I agree. We just need to figure out who to cut first. And Taylor's like, I'm confused because I've never had so many options in this game. Like I don't know where to go. And Brittany says, look, Taylor, it's simple. It's the important thing is not to overplay, and get all confused and do too much.
You know, I feel like that's some sound advice, Brittany. Um, like I think that's all you have to do, because we see today, like, one of the things is like, why is Brittany doing so much and stuff like that. It was nice advice for Brittany to give to Taylor. But also, like, here's my thing, right? I didn't hate what Brittany was doing, like, full stop. I think Brittany was setting herself up so in case there is a Micah downfall, like, Brittany, like, is still in the game and possibly could do something, and in case, and to, like, make sure that her real loyalties is working hard. And I respect people who are active and, like, try to make a final two with Turner. It's someone you don't have a good relationship with. Like, try to, like, build that relationship, but you don't have a good relationship with that man. So why are you trying to build a final two with him?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we can, like, dog on Brittany all we want, but, like, let's look at the results, because Brittany's goal is to get herself and Michael to the final two. Prior to Brittany's machinations, everybody was targeting Michael except for her. And if Michael took himself off the block with the veto, then a lot of people were looking to take her out of the game in his place, instead of, as a secondary shot.
Yes.
After Brittany's machinations, nobody except for Taylor seems to be, like, absolutely sure about targeting Michael. Nobody is targeting Brittany whatsoever. Everybody will vote out anybody other than Brittany. Brittany and Michael have become two of the safest people in the house.
I don't know if you always say this, but, like, people always say, like, Big Brother favors the active, and being active, no matter how messy, listen, it can take you a long way.
It really can. It really can. That's what, advise people not to overplay, because then they'll just sit there like a sitting duck while you overplay and run circles around them.
Truly, but also to the Taylor thing, like, it is so sad what happened to Taylor this season. The fact that she's like, now I have so many options. Like, Paz, Taylor is such a valuable person that you could have brought in at any point in time, and just now she feels like, oh, people are actually coming to her, and she has, like, she can make a move. And, like, listen, I love this for her. I love that she feels like this. I love that she's bolden to ready to make a move and make a strike. I'm not saying too little, too late, but, like, you don't have much runway, Taylor, to make a strike. And I do think Taylor's, like, in a halfway decent position, like, if she gets to an end, convincing the jury to vote for her and win the game. So she's not, like, in a terrible spot. I'm not dogging her for that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, honestly, and we'll talk about all of this tonight on the roundtable while we rate these players, of course. But, like, the weird thing about Taylor is right now is that her position has diminished pretty significantly this week, because she's now a target heading into next week. Michael is not a target anymore, which is not great for her. But I do think that she is probably, like, making the best decisions of anybody in the house right now. Because, like, Brittany's not even playing to win. Michael's, making all kinds of mistakes and is getting saved by Brittany. Monty and Turner are inexplicably trying to protect Michael. Maybe, like, only Alyssa rivals Taylor right now in terms of, like, making decent plays. But Alyssa is also in the firing. Like, they're Taylor and Alyssa are both, like, in the firing line, despite being the two of the more rational players this week.
Like, legit, Taran, I was watching a bunch of fools make foolish moves and talk about foolish things yesterday. And the sad fact that, like, Alyssa and Taylor, like, one of them could easily go home in the double this week. It's like, dang, what has this house come to? What is this house?
Yeah. So Brittany tries again. She says it makes sense to target Turner because he's coming for both of us. And this is the weird thing too. Like, Brittany is telling Taylor good things for her game. Like, watch out for Turner and Monty. Watch out for Turner particularly because he is coming for you, which is very true. She says, look, Turner and Monty are so close. She says that the thing that I expect to be blindsided about is that Monty is going to pick Turner over us. And I really need Taylor to hear that, but I don't think she is. And Brittany says that she would like to, she likes the idea of working with Alyssa. That feels like a good path moving forward. It is for both of them. Particularly Taylor. I would like, I feel like that is really genuinely the best play moving forward for Taylor. Unfortunately, Brittany's already exposed it, which does not help. Granted, it sounds like Taylor also would have exposed it eventually.
Yeah. like Taylor, and like, no, truly, like, again, remember how earlier in this thing I was like, Taylor might be good on Monty's good side right now. Like, the moment Taylor was like even considering bringing Terrence, it's like, don't bring Terrence today. And Terrence don't rock with you. Like, sure, Terrence will like want Michael gone, but like, there's no good blood there. Like, I'm not saying that second place HOH does not count, but he does have technically on the Wikipedia an HOH win. So, so Taylor and Alyssa, God bless the girl, has not done great in these competitions. Pause. But like, I'll turn up for like the old guy in the game being like, you know what, you're not the weakest competition threat in here. Like, you got this. Being like, he's the competition threat. Like, shut up.
Yeah, well, Brittany says, look, the important thing is we can't take a shot at Michael. He benefits us more than anyone else in the house. And let them take the shot at Michael. It can't be us. So that's kind of where they leave that off for now. Monty, Brittany, Taylor, and Turner are going to get together and talk through the vote between Terrence and Alyssa. And they go back and forth for a little while.
Yeah.
Monty's mic is peaking like none other. They don't fix it in the entire 40 minutes of this conversation. It's very annoying. But basically what it comes down to is they decide that they're going to take out Terrence, because the thing that it really comes down to between Alyssa and Terrence is that Terrence is better at those competitions. And so as long as they're all comfortable putting Alyssa up next week, yes, then okay, it's probably Terrence.
Like I understand, and I do feel like at this point Terrence is not doing a great job. Like I listened to a campaign, I'm like, what type of campaign is this? Like counting jury votes and being like, oh, I don't like leaving you so you're in a position where it's like, oh, I determine stuff like that don't rub people the right way. So I think Terrence is like not the best at this game, and I think Terrence is for most people in this game the correct decision to get out at this point in time. Maybe not Monty, but I think for everyone else in the conversation, that's the correct decision.
Yep. They get a Labor Day party. The feeds go down for it. When they come back, we have a few more conversations in the night. In fact, it looks like more than half of my notes are from post. Oh boy. So Michael talks to the cameras a little bit, and I thought this was pretty valuable for us to hear because when talking to Monty and Turner, we're not going to go through every time he says it, but he's pretty consistently trash talking Brittany, both strategically and personally, making fun of things that she's saying that she's she's back to week one Brittany when she was backstage. And and he even said to the cameras the day before, he called her an idiot. And so it seems like he's pretty annoyed with her. But when he talks to the cameras last night, he does say, I really hope Brittany wins the HOH this week so that I'm safe heading into the following week. So despite it all, it does appear that Michael still trusts Brittany more than anybody else in the house, which is good to know because I was starting to not be sure, only because of the cam talk where he called her an idiot.
No,
because obviously he's going to do what he should to Monty and Turner to convince them that he doesn't trust Brittany anymore.
No, but legit, Michael genuinely sees the noise with this girl, and I'm like, she's fighting so hard to keep you around, and I think he recognizes that. Even though he's like, I don't like that you're doing this so much. She's telling him what she's doing. She was keeping him involved. It's yo, this is for you. I've already told you I'm willing to be second place to you. So it's if you have someone in that game that's willing to not only lose to you, but fight tooth and nail for you to put you in a better position when Lord knows you shouldn't be. You need to keep her around. That is valuable. Truly. Now I think we're in a position where Michael does not have to worry as much, but if there's someone who's not going to be swayed by seeing Michael vulnerable, it's Brittany. So I'm glad he was talking some sense.
Yeah, I think basically what's happening with Brittany and Michael is that because Brittany told Michael, I'm going to be doing all these things to try and keep you and me safe. She went out and did them, and then it got back to Michael. and he was like, she got caught. What an idiot. Like, I think he's like, oh my God, she's so messy. Like, I think he's like probably recognizing like it's kind of working out for me, but only because she got caught. And so like, I'm still annoyed that she's doing so much, but I'm happy to reap the rewards. So.
Like, Michael, let's go back to what your plan was before Brittany was doing this. Went out. Not a great plan. Like sure, if someone could do it, it is you. Come on, but also I don't want you to rely on that.
So Taylor's going to talk to Monty again after her conversations with Brittany, and she says, I don't know if I believe this Brittany Turner Final 2 stuff. It sounds a little far-fetched to me. Monty says, well, I don't think Turner would lie about it. Like, it doesn't really make sense that he would lie about it. Taylor's kind of like, well, you know, either way, I just want to make sure that we're still locked in with our like final 3 with Brittany. I don't want Brittany to be like a target for us. And Monty says like, yeah, that's fine. It's not like Brittany's a threat to our games. Taylor says I do think it's just important. Let's just take Turner out. Like take him out. We don't have to worry about the Brittany thing. It's he should be the next target. That's kind of what we've talked about anyway, right? And Monty is probably like, damn it, that backfired.
No, like, and truly, like, I think, again, like I said earlier, why would like we're getting conflicting stories. We get what Brittany's saying, we get what Monty's saying, and I'm not gonna lie. Based on the way Monty treats you, Taylor, like I understand why you believe carry more weight with what Brittany's doing, even though I do believe more times than not, like there's no like just straight up lies in the Big Brother house. Like, in full stop. Like I feel like more times than not, when someone like comes to you with information, at worst, there's nuggets of truth in it. So I think every time you say something, you need to like perk up and be like, okay, what does this mean, and how do I properly adjust?
Yeah. It's so funny. We talk about this. We've talked about this a few times, but like the active lying, like complete whole cloth lie about somebody else, pretty rare in the Big Brother house. A lot of like people will lie about their own intentions freely, but it's pretty rare that somebody just straight up lies about what somebody else is doing or saying. And so that can make it a very valuable strategy if you implement it successfully. But it is one of the reasons why is that it's risky, because that person can then deny it, and now you're in conflict, and that's not a good social position to be in. So interesting stuff. But yes, that's kind of where they stand there. Monty's going to talk to Michael, and he says, "So Michael, now Brittany is saying she wants Turner out. What is she doing? Like, we have our gentleman's agreement, so we should be good either way." But and by the way, Taylor told me about the Girls Alliance, so I don't think we need to be too worried about that. And that's which means, despite the fact that Taylor is still saying she wants to target Turner, Monty feels good that Taylor is still more loyal to the Brochella Alliance than the Women's Alliance, which means that if she targets Turner, she's going to put Turner and Alyssa on the block, which means that the gentleman's agreement can then vote out Alyssa over Turner. So he feels good enough about Taylor that he's not as concerned that she's going to do 2 men on the block.
No, and truly, I think one of the biggest fears was like, Brittany and Taylor and Alyssa are banding together just to make the guys like take a shot at each other while they reap the benefits of what's happening. But like throughout the day, and even some yesterday, it's clear that Brittany was not cool with this, that Taylor's not really like all in on this. Like I think Alyssa might be the only person down for this, but also Alyssa has other ideas and other plans that she want to rock with, like also with Michael and Brittany. So I think their fears are like have been subdued after the conversations today, especially because of the work Taylor did.
We could also briefly just touch upon the fact, because it's been something that's slowly been happening, and we mentioned it, or I mentioned it like a couple times, I think yesterday and the day before, but like the relationship between Alyssa and Turner has almost completely evaporated, which is pretty wild. Alyssa, I think rightfully thinks that Turner is close with Monty and is worried about that and wants to work with the women instead. But Turner has just completely let that go. Like the reason why she's like concerned that he's working with Monty is because he's like barely talks to her anymore. And it's like, why, Turner? Like she's such a good person to have on your side, or bring to, like, she's a way better person to bring to the end than Monty. Like, have Monty on your side, but like maintain your relationship with Alyssa at least. Like, what are you doing, Turner?
Like, listen, Turner, I remember several weeks back, Little Miss came to you with some very sensitive information. And like, if someone's coming with that information, it's like, I can trust with this person for a lot in this game. Like, I want to keep this person close to my side as possible. And especially if they're like not like the biggest threat in the world, why am I not like leveraging my relationship with them as much as humanly possible?
If
Like,
Turner wanted Alyssa's 100% unwavering loyalty, he could have had it. All he needed to do is maintain that, because he did have it. Like, when the stuff with Kyle went down, she was like, Turner, you are all I have left in this game. And then he was like, great. Can I just ghost you for a bit, though? And so she went out and found new friends. Like, I don't know what he was thinking there. Anyway. Monty, let me see here. So Monty talks to Michael. Then they're going to have a Brochella meeting. Monty, Brittany, Michael, and Taylor. They discuss that the plan moving forward, they're all on board, is with Alyssa and Turner on the block next week. And this is what Monty is pushing for, because he believes that if Turner and Alyssa are on the block, then him and Michael can vote out Alyssa. My question is, does Michael actually go through with that? Like how on board is Michael with actually going through that? Because if Turner and Alyssa are on the block, and you're Michael, and you're safe to final 5 now, take out Turner, right? Like, take out Turner. You only have to win 3 competitions to be completely lock safe for the rest of the game, and Turner is your biggest competition. Like, you're gonna vote out Alyssa over Turner? I don't think so, right?
I have more faith in Michael as a game player. Like, I don't care how Michael acts and stuff like that. He thinks smart and strategically. Like, he's not going to see Turner on the block. We'll pause. I say this. He should have taken out Monty like 2-3 times now, but we don't talk about that. But
yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? Because I no longer have like an outlet, because he's not talking to Brittany about this guy's a gentleman's agreement. And so I don't know what his actual thoughts are in regard to it. Again, I think that the fact that he said, I hope Brittany wins this HOH, implies to me that he doesn't trust them fully, and that he would turn his back on them. But I don't think we have any kind of confirmation right now that he would. So it's difficult to say.
Like, my gut tells me, what my gut tells me is he wants Monty and Turner out the game, but he does not want to be the person to take the shot at them. I think he wants to be like, okay, they're coming to me with this genuine deal. This is a relationship I can build. And if they go to the jury not mad at me, and I have a better chance of like winning my way to the end without them in the game, like, I would like the votes. Like, because, Terrence being like, for a long period of time, like, yo, I'm opposing jury, what power does Terrence really have? But still, like, I think once you bring in the fact that, like, how many jury votes do you actually have, you just start to worry, like, ooh, did I screw this person over too much? Or, ooh, do I not really have this relationship as solid as I once thought? So I think, like, jury votes, especially Michael, who's like, can sniff the 750K. He can sniff it. Like, he's like, I want to make sure this is as locked in as humanly possible. I do not want anything to mess this up. That's my theory. Well, that's not what he expressed.
We may find out. We'll have to see. Brittany's going to talk with Taylor again, and it's really just the same conversation. But they lock in. Terrence is going. Taylor says she's not going to waver on that. Terrence is the one they're voting out. Brittany tries again to say Monty's working with Turner, and she says again they have to stick with Michael. Monty's going to talk to Turner. And he lets Turner know, because he just had that conversation with the Brochella people. He says, so we just talked. And Brittany is definitely playing both sides, because we just sat out there and she said that you were the #1 target next week. And Turner's like, what the hell? So she did that final 2 with you just so that you wouldn't put her up, basically. And so he also talks about Michael and how Michael was playing very neutral. He's very good at that. He really hopes that Michael will stay true to them. Really hope so, because... And it's like, this is the same thing that I was saying with Kyle when he was out in Direfest. Like, if you're ever in a position where you're like, we really need X person, especially Michael, really need him to stay true to us or we're screwed, then you are screwed, because you should never be in a position where you are that reliant on somebody, especially somebody that is very powerful in the game and they can win competitions that much. But they said, we just really need to win HOH next week. That's the thing we need to do.
Yes. But I also like to add on to that, like, especially Michael. You need to be worried for that, Michael. Like, I remember during the Taylor HOH round when he was like going to Kyle, telling them one thing, going to Taylor and them telling them one thing, and then be like, you know what, I am a neutral party in both. Like, he might make you listen, he might make you feel good behind closed doors, but when he out in public, he ain't holding your hand. So like, you can't trust it. You can't trust that man.
Yeah. Monty's going to talk to Taylor again. And they talk more about what Brittany's doing. He's just like, it's weird. Why wouldn't she share that information with you about Turner? And he says, she's not like a great target because she hasn't won a lot of comps. So I am fine with targeting Turner and Alyssa. I think that's the right call. It's just so much with Brittany, but as long as we get to Final Four with Brochella, I think we're fine. And this is when things get really funny because remember, for the last 2 to 3 weeks, Monty has been 2 to 2.5 weeks. Monty has been pushing Taylor. We have to take the shot at Michael.
Yes.
We have to take out Michael. He's going to beat us all. Do you want to play for second place or what? Getting very upset with Taylor for not agreeing with him, for not going along with it, and been pushing so hard. Taylor's like, so you just mentioned Final Four.
Yeah.
With Michael. Are you still looking to take a shot at Michael if you get a chance? And he's like, yeah. Well, I've been thinking of the timing of it. Like, when is the right time? I feel like I would feel like an idiot if I didn't, and Taylor, who now is like really wanting to take a shot at Michael and certainly wants Monty to take a shot at Michael, is like, well, I wouldn't hold it against you if you took the shot at Michael. And Monty goes, well, would you do it? Or would you wait until the 4? They're both trying to get each other to take the shot at Michael. And he says, like, well, look, if we don't take the shot next week, I'll still have an HOH. He'll still have an HOH to win. And then somebody outside of the alliance would be the target. And then we could win the following HOH. And if he slips up on the veto. So, I feel like that's the hypothetical. And Taylor says again, well, I wouldn't hold it against you if you took the shot. I wouldn't. I wouldn't hold. Monty, it sounds like you're saying you're not going to. I wouldn't. Nobody would hold it against you. And Monty says again, yeah, well, I wouldn't want to look like an idiot, but my only concern is that following week. And she's like, what do you mean the following week? I'm sure you'd be fine. And he's like, I feel like I'd be targeted. And she's like, well, that's sort of the thing, but
what?
This is hilarious.
What bizarre world was I in? Like, Terrence, you could not tell me this conversation would have happened Saturday. Saturday. Like, that's how quickly these things have flipped on its head. Because, baby, like, let me tell you the right time to take a shot at Michael. When Michael does not win veto or HOH, which could be double eviction, like, which could be as soon as now. So, like, baby, the fact that y'all are, like, waiting, especially you, Monty, like, I don't know. I understand what Turner is coming through. I don't know how you can believe like Michael is like dead serious about this. Why would he take someone who like, I don't think Monty could beat Michael at this point in time, but someone who like at least has a shot, like has a fighting chance to get Michael. Like Michael is not Brittany. Michael's playing to win. Like Michael is playing for the W, and I get your little gentleman's agreement. This is your gentleman's agreement. Michael's over here like, I am nodding along, and I am not. So don't get it twisted. So I understand. And I think red flags Taylor, like, yo, you were pushing hard for like me to join you and take the shot. Like, why are you backing down now? Like, son, I need a soldier. And you are not being the soldier that I thought you were being. Why are you wimping out? We need to do this now. Like, pause. You spent all this time wearing me down. I've been warned. now do it. Now let's do it.
Yeah, you've been mad at me for not wanting to take this shot. Now all of a sudden it sounds like you're in my position all of a sudden, and you're not wanting to take the shot. All right. Well, Monty is also going to address the rumors floating around from Brittany that he's working with Turner. He's like, wow, how would I be close with Turner when Turner made a whole alliance on the other side of the house that they were going to target me? It doesn't make any sense. And they're like, okay. So Michael's going to talk with Turner. And Turner says, I just heard from Monty that Brittany is now saying that I should be the target. And he says, from my perspective, it's clear that the women are trying to keep Alyssa this week. And Michael says, well, I see both Alyssa and Terrence as just as likely to come for us, right? Terrence is going to put me and you on the block. So I'm kind of torn. This is Turner still feeling like he'd maybe like to take Alyssa out. Monty still kind of feels that way as well, a little bit, even though the group decided to take out Terrence. But Michael's going to shut it down here. He says, look, the women may want to work with Alyssa, but Terrence is more likely to win a comp, and he's going to nominate 2 of us. And it doesn't really matter. The women aren't going to target Alyssa. They're also not going to target Terrence. If anything, they're going to want to bring Terrence to the end even more. And Terrence's like, I could see that. Okay. And Michael suggests maybe there's a world where if Alyssa wins HOH, we could tell her that the women's alliance has been blown up, that Brittany told us about the women's alliance, to try and break it up and try and just get her to not nominate 2 of us. I think we can get Alyssa to not nominate 2 of us, whereas Terrence would definitely nominate 2 of us. And Turner's kind of convinced by this, it seems. They both agree that Taylor is the most likely to target 2 of them together. And so that Taylor should be the primary target moving forward. Turner finds it interesting. Turner's like, I just find it interesting that the very next day after she came to me, she's trying to target me and talking about Brittany. Michael's just like, yeah, she's losing it. She's losing it. I haven't really had time to like really see what kind of info she might spill to me yet. But man, I didn't expect this kind of behavior from Brittany. But hey, as long as we win the HOH, we don't have to worry about any of this.
You need to worry about this. Full stop. My thing is, Michael did see this from Brittany. Like Brittany's not a new person. Brittany's been Brittany since week 1 of this house, and we saw how Brittany was week 1. Sure, Brittany might have cooled down, but like we constantly, like every now and then, like spurts of energy from Brittany. So I don't know. And also Turner, I think, is in a lot of danger. I think Taylor is in a lot of danger now, because I do think Taylor would take a shot. I think the correct move for Taylor, if she wins HOH, is Michael and Turner on the block, because at least one of them's gone. We're getting one of the 2 comp threats out. So I believe full-heartedly, like, they need to be worrying about this girl. Like, Taylor, I love you full-heartedly. You're an awesome person. Win that HOH. Win that HOH, and do not give them the chance to take you out, because you are in like a nice position. You are sitting cozy. Because I don't think, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, I don't think if Alyssa like happened to rise to power, I don't think Alyssa will pause. You know what? I rename my statement. I started thinking who will be left in the game after Taylor takes a shot at one of those 2. I was like, oh.
Well, here's the thing. Like, if Turner leaves because Michael wins the veto, then is Monty really gonna like super link up with Michael still, now that he doesn't have Turner to like back him up? I know he's like thinking that that Terrence might like taint the jury against Michael, but he can't be that confident. Like, oh yeah, I'll happily go to the end with Michael. And he also can't believe that Michael would take him to the final 2. So does Monty have a choice at that point but to try and take out Michael and then comp his way to the end? And if she takes out Michael, then she has a chance to comp out to the end, right? Like, I just feel like we're so close to the end game. I agree with your initial statement. I think Turner and Michael, one of them needs to go for Taylor's game, and she's too much in danger in this double eviction to not try to win the HOH. But what was your other thought?
My other thought was like, whatever case, especially if Michael goes, Monty and Turner, I do think Monty and Turner needs to like buck this out. I think Brittany will not let these other girls be like, yo, we're going to keep both Monty and Turner in this game. So I do think, and I think if if Turner ultimately goes, Monty needs to be out on this Gentleman's Alliance, full stop. Like, Monty needs to get his things together and be like, listen, I am now alone with Michael. And Michael, you're telling me and Monty in this game, and you also have Brittany over here who's willing to die for you, Alyssa who has not done much in this game, and you have Taylor. I can see like Monty and Taylor, y'all going up together. And I know they were talking about a little bit earlier, like, oh, after everything, you think us 2 will really touch the block together? Yes, y'all would. Y'all would touch the block together if in the right case scenario. So do not like just think. I don't like the passivity. I'm not gonna lie. I do not like the passivity and like the lack of setting themselves up. It very much rubs me the wrong way, especially from you, Monty.
Well, I would say again, like, because like the thing I like about Taylor nominating both Turner and Michael is that again, let's say she takes out Turner, she's now taken out the person who is targeting her specifically the most. Monty should still feel good about Taylor at that point. He should still feel like Taylor wants to go to the end with him. And she just took a shot at Michael. So he knows that Michael and Taylor are probably going after each other. If Monty has the option, he's not going to target Taylor. Even if he doesn't want to target Michael, he'll target Alyssa or Brittany first, right? Should.
You can't trust him. You can't trust him. He's lost all of our trust.
And if she takes out Michael, then that's worse position wise, because then you have Turner in the game looking to still target her. But I still feel like Monty would not want to take out Taylor. You'd want to take out Alyssa first. And so it's still only Turner that you have to worry about. And he is probably the best competitor after Michael, and that's not great. But at least now Taylor has the ability to win HOHs and vetoes because Michael's not around, right? So, I feel like that's the play.
And you could tell me I'm incorrect. I think if Turner goes on a run and stuff, I think Turner would take Monty to the end. And I do think Monty has a good chance of beating Turner in the final two.
Yes.
So I think Monty needs to hold on to this man and be like, yo, comp this out and get the other comp out.
Out. Turner is incredibly valuable to Monty. Yeah.
100%. That bond is like the best thing that could happen to Monty at this point in time.
Yeah, easily Monty's best move in the entire game, I think, has been to pick up Turner in the way that he has.
Correct.
Michael is going to go and talk with both Monty and Turner. They kind of repeat the conversation that Michael just had with Turner, because Monty says, should we change anything with this week's vote, considering all this new information? But Michael gives Monty the same pitch he gave to Turner. They can maybe convince Alyssa to not put two of them up, and that's the primary goal. So they agree. Alyssa should stay. Terrence should go. Monty says, okay, so here's what else I have. Taylor's already feeling weird about Brittany. So if that's good for us. Michael says, Brittany, he says, I feel like Brittany's probably just worried because she felt like Terrence was the only person she could beat in the end. Maybe that's why she's going a little wild here. Turner wants to know, okay, who should each of us target if we win HOH? Monty says, I know we had talked about Taylor, but for me, I think Alyssa makes the most sense because of the whole Brochella thing. I've said that I'm targeting Alyssa, and I won't have to show my cards. I'd probably nominate Brittany next to her instead of Turner. That might show my cards, but Michael's like, look, at this point, it's okay to show cards. He could nominate Turner next to Alyssa and then trust the bros, but it wouldn't be trusting the bros because he'd be HOH. It would be the women that would be voting, so we can't put up Turner. So it would probably be Alyssa and Brittany. The goal would be to evict Alyssa. Turner says, okay, well, for me, and I think we can each have our own personal targets. For me, I know Brittany's going wild here, but I don't think she'll win a comp. For me, I definitely still target Taylor. And Michael says, for me, I can't win. But if I win the following week, then my nominations will be chosen for me because you two will have taken one of the women out, and I'll just nominate the other two women.
It's easy peasy. Listen, when the comps beast gets together, there's a reason why it's a successful strategy, and we've seen it happen many times with alliances run down game. Combo butt. And pause. I do think Monty, besides the fact that Michael's there and that's blinding you, I do think Monty really does need to get Alyssa out. I think Alyssa is the person who is coldest on Monty, even though I think Alyssa is probably the easiest person to beat once Terrence leave in the game. You can't just take a chance that someone don't win an HOH or don't win a row veto. I understand it hasn't happened yet, but we've seen in the past a random HOH screws over someone else's game, someone that they were not expecting to win. We saw Steve do it to Vanessa. Steve win the HOH that he was supposed to and did take out Vanessa. You see Paris come out in the end and win competitions when people weren't expecting it. It happens all the time, and you can't count Alyssa out just because she hasn't performed so far. No one expected Terrence to have HOH. Terrence had a HOH. And I also I think also Turner also has the right read. Taylor is the person that's most dangerous to his game. I think he needs to work on Alyssa even more, and Brittany is also someone pause. You know what? I retract my statement. Turner's slacking on the relationships, and Turner needs to get better with those. Because Turner, I understand it's the end game. You still got time. You still got time to rebuild that stuff.
Yeah. Well, so basically what we have here as of right now is that Monty would put up probably Alyssa and Brittany.
Yes.
Alyssa would be voted out. Turner and Michael and probably Taylor, all three would vote out Alyssa. If
Mhm.
Monty wins, Alyssa, and the veto doesn't change anything, Alyssa probably leaves. Turner would put up Taylor and Brittany. And then we would see that Michael would vote Taylor out. Monty will like the bros will expect him to vote Taylor out, and I think he might. And then Alyssa, I think, would also probably vote Taylor out over Brittany. So Taylor would likely go, if the veto doesn't change anything, on a Turner HOH. Taylor, I think, will take the shot at Michael. I don't know how. It might be Michael and Turner. It might be like a backdoor. It might be Turner and Alyssa with a potential Michael backdoor. There's too much like that I'm unsure about in terms of how she would go about her HOH, but it would matter who she puts up initially and who is up next to who. But I think her intention would be to target Michael.
Like I am at this point in time am in generally not a fan of, if everyone's competing, what's the point of backdooring? Everyone should be going hardest as possible. But I think in this spot, because of how I think thinks Taylor views Michael, like putting Michael up initially, that ruins that. Like that breaks that, and then Michael's like, you know what? Now I gotta go hard for Taylor.
Less a backdoor to prevent him from playing or anything, more a backdoor to prevent him from realizing that she would have targeted him if he ends up winning.
Correct.
So I think that she might go with Brochella, nominate Turner and Alyssa, and then if Michael doesn't win the veto, she would definitely consider taking that shot. If the nominations, go ahead.
Yeah, but then my next fear in that is like, who do you take down with those two? Because I think Michael has a decent chance of staying.
So then things get complicated because if the nominations stay the same, it comes down to Michael, and I think Michael evicts Turner. This is what we talked about, but can't be sure. If Turner wins the veto and Michael goes up next to Alyssa, and it comes down to Monty and Turner. Do they hold to their word and keep Michael, or do they take out, or do they take him out and leave in Alyssa with the women? And as of right now, it really feels like they would vote to keep him. But again, who knows? And so then if Alyssa comes down and it's Michael versus Turner, then I think Monty votes out Michael. I think that Alyssa, I'm not sure. It comes down to Alyssa because Brittany votes out Turner, and it comes down to what does Alyssa go with Brittany and keep Michael, or does she go with Taylor and keep Turner? Who knows? Probably evicts Michael, but her relationship with Turner is really degraded over the last week. So
I think she evicts Turner in that spot because I think her relationship with Turner has degraded, like you said, and I also think Alyssa's closer to Brittany. So if Brittany's on this side, I think Alyssa's like, you know what, I'm good with you. I will follow you, and I think Turner's.
Yeah. So that's there. Brittany, I think, just straight goes for Turner. I think she nominates Monty and Turner, personally. I think she just straight up does it. And then I think that Alyssa would want Monty out. Taylor would want Turner out. And it would come down to who does Michael want out between Monty and Turner.
I think Michael should want Turner out.
I think he'd want Turner out first. So I think it would be Turner there. But you can't be sure. And then, of course, if Turner wins the veto, that's a whole other story. Monty could still go there. And then if Alyssa wins HOH, I think she wants Monty out, but I think she would likely nominate Monty and Turner still. And then again, it would come down to the votes. So there's a lot of different scenarios. And in all of these scenarios, anybody can leave except for probably Brittany.
Yes.
She's probably the safest person in the house right now.
I agree. I think Brittany's safest, and like we said at the top, Brittany's the safest, and Michael's also really safe in this situation. Something I noticed: Turner's going up in a lot of situations.
Yeah, Turner's in some trouble. Yeah. Turner is in some trouble. Unfortunately, Taylor is in some trouble. Alyssa's in some trouble. Monty's actually not looking too bad, mostly because Turner's a target in front of him, but it's still not a guarantee, especially with that veto situation. And we're just guessing that some people would want Turner out ahead of Monty, and that could change. So
And Turner going for Monty, like, I significantly drops his winner chances.
exactly. Yeah. Monty's definitely in a worse spot if Turner leaves. So, man, it's quite the mess. We'll talk about it all in some more detail tonight on the roundtable, of course. AJ, anything else you wanted to bring up?
I'm excited to see what happens at the double. I'm ready.
It should be interesting. They've got a ton of game content to show in the 2-hour thing, which I'm sure they won't. And then we have like a double where this is a genuinely exciting double. We could see the all-time comp record in a single season be broken in this double. And then like there are so many different combinations of outcomes based on the competition results. So this could be pretty exciting. Yeah,
it's messy. It's interesting, all because of bad gameplay. But you know what? Listen, I'm excited. It keeps me entertained and keeps me glued. So I'm ready.
All right. Well, that's what we have for you then today. Of course, again, find me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong, hanging out. Again, I just did a show with Jacob Jones yesterday. First of hopefully many, where we chatted about all kinds of interesting stuff. You can go over there and check it out. I'm probably going to be uploading it to YouTube at some point, so you can check it out over there. Among Us videos also on YouTube right now are being posted, so you can check all of that out. Taran Armstrong on YouTube. Find me on Twitter at Armstrong Taran. I recorded the House of the Dragon Book Club podcast yesterday. It should be coming out soon if it hasn't already. If you want to hear my thoughts on House of the Dragon, you don't need to have read the books. We do not talk spoilers in the first portion of the podcast. And then, of course, tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, update, stock watch, roundtable tonight, episode tomorrow, double eviction on Thursday. It's all coming around here. AJ, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at AJ Norris. That's where I'll retweet any podcast I'm on. I've started Two Can't Keep a Secret. Our podcast is starting our season 2 coverage of Pretty Little Liars. So you can go check that out on wherever you listen to podcasts. And it's a good time. And I'm ready to see how the season turn out.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us here today. And I will see all of you next time.